When I had really bad depression, I slept a lot. And that was kind of the issue with being in bed for me, was that I would do work and I would just slowly get more and more horizontal until I was fully horizontal. And then as soon as I lie on my side, that's it, I'm a goner. Say goodbye to being awake. I'm asleep. It's a risky business being in bed. I think it is just nice just to exist and not have to be like, oh, I've got to go and do chores and this and that. I'm just existing. Today is just a write-off, but I'm existing and I'm having a good time. The last thing is food in bed. Now, dangerous game. It really is. I have one of those granny trays which has like bean bag thing on the bottom, and it's a tray and I eat on it, and I don't eat at the table because, you know, I have no manners. Hi, I'm in my PJs and I'm ready for bed. But first, I'm going to do a podcast. Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. I'm Dawn. I am a doctor. I've just finished work actually, and it's 1 a.m. Yes, I'm a late worker. My life's looking a bit better than the last couple of episodes. I bet you are absolutely fucking thrilled to hear. So don't worry, I'm in a good mood. Good time. It's a good time for me. And I'll briefly tell you why. Because I got paid, finally, all the money that I was owed. It turned out it was thousands of pounds. So now I'm not crying in the corner because I'm in my financial handcuffs. And I've paid off all my bills. So fucking excellent, in my opinion. Today, I wanted to talk about bed rotting. Ooh, rotting in bed? Yeah, it's got this weird name because I've always known it as having like a duvet day. But apparently on TikTok, the young people, they now call it bed rotting. So I'm here to talk about bed rotting. Is it good? Is it bad? And what are the best and worst ways to do it? Because I pretty much did it the other day and I had a great time. But I've also not had some good times. In fact, I've had some times where I've podcasted in bed because my anxiety was so bad that I was like, I literally can't leave bed. And I've definitely come and, I've seen some good and bad ways to do it. So I thought, do you know what? Let's chat about it. Let's have a chat, shall we? About bed rotting or duvet days. I don't know, I'm going to talk about it interchangeably. So my history with bed rotting is I used to live with a girl who was also a medical student when I was a medical student at the time, and she was a big fan of bed. And I think probably one of the biggest fans of bed has been, notably, I would say, Emma Chamberlain. She does a lot of her work in bed. She does some of her podcasting in bed. She did a lot of her videos in bed. She edits her videos in bed. She works in bed. Lots of things happen in bed because it's a comfy fucking place to be, let's be honest. And my housemate that I lived with, she did a lot of things in bed. So, and I'm not going to lie, I did a lot of things in bed. Now, probably the worst thing that I would do when I bed rotted is I used to just fall asleep. When I had really bad depression, I slept a lot. And that was kind of the issue with being in bed for me, was that I would do work and I would just slowly get more and more horizontal until I was fully horizontal. And then as soon as I lie on my side, that's it, I'm a goner. Like, say goodbye to being awake, I'm asleep. So it's a risky business being in bed and doing work in bed. I would say I'm significantly less productive in bed, but there are definitely times for it, and there are definitely times to not be in bed. So we will talk about those. So when I was depressed, I don't know if I'm ever not depressed. Like, my depression is managed. Like, I'm always going to have depression. Sorry. But I am not currently actively suicidally depressed, and I can go about my business. So that's always a good place to be. But I mean, I'm probably still depressed, or I have depression, I should say. I'm not depressed. Anyway, that's a lot of depressed in 1 minute. In one 1 minute interval. Depression a lot. So I would say probably the biggest reason why everybody's bed rotting at the moment is because everyone's realizing, like, oh, maybe I don't need to fucking work excessively hard and kill myself, and not literally, but like kill myself over a job that I don't really like and drive myself into the ground, and maybe I can take some time to just lie in bed and just exist. And also, it's like a comfy place to be. I would also say that people, personally, when I was younger, I used to obviously live in house shares, and sometimes you just don't want to sit with people. You know, you're just like, I want to sit, I want to do work or like do something in a comfy place. I don't want to sit with people who will talk to me or like even look at me. I just want to fucking exist and not be in the presence of other humans. And I think the best way to do that, especially if you live in a shared house, is sit in bed. You don't want to go to the library. You don't want to sit in the front room. You don't want to sit in the dining room. Bed. Easy. And it is comfy, so why not? So I think that's another reason why people might bed rot. That's another reason why I might bed rot. Is also, there's another thing. I would say sometimes it's just nice to be in a different location. You know, sometimes I sit on the sofa quite a lot and like do work, or I sit in here, obviously in podcasts, and then edit and shit. I can't edit if I'm not sat at a table. Like I have to, like I can edit podcasts because it's like easy, but I can't sit and edit a video without having a mouse and a screen. I have to sit in here. So I can if I've got a mouse. I can't do this whole trackpad clicky thing. It just doesn't work. Anyway, no one cares. But I'm just saying. Also, I have to be really in the right mindset to edit a video. Like, I do like doing it, but it's quite fucking hard. And I would say hard work rarely happens in bed, to be honest. It's like the easy shit, you know? But anyway, I would say apart from depression, and so if you've been following my podcast for a while, I actually did do some of my episodes in, I would say like January, February, March. Like I was going through another depressed time. And I basically was really struggling like with my anxiety because I didn't have a job and I didn't have any money, story of my life. And I was like really fucking anxious. And the only thing that helped me was to sit in bed. And I was like, I want to podcast and I want to like do things, but I don't want to leave bed. I just want to sit in bed. And it feels, and firstly, it's warm. Secondly, it's cozy. Thirdly, it's comfy. And fourthly, it's kind of relaxing, like it's anxiety. Like you feel like you're being encompassed by pillows and not smothered, encompassed. And it's just a nice, like, keep me warm and cozy and basically being hugged by the, what do you call it? Like the stuff in the bed. Like, you know, if you have stuff in the kitchen, it's like crockery. Stuff in the bed is called, I can't remember. It's got a name. That's weird. Like not like duvets, pillows, like all of that stuff. So when you've got depression, anxiety, and I think a lot of people do, I'm not going to lie, a lot of people, especially millennials, have anxiety, especially Gen Z. Anxiety, is that what they're called, Gen Z? I don't know, the new generation. Anyway, we all have anxiety because we're snowflakes. No, I'm joking. We're not snowflakes. We just can't fucking cope with the world because it's horrendous and stressful, and there's a lot of pressure on us, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and money, and we can't afford a house, and like, yeah, the greedy beat the needy, and we are the needy, let's be honest. So that was a great quote I heard the other day. I was like, this is a fucking fire quote. I can't relate to it more. The greedy beat the needy. Like, it literally is. And I was like, why do the government hate me? Hate doctors? Like, why do the government hate us? Why? Like, they genuinely do. I literally think they couldn't give fucking shit about us, and I just don't really get it. So, like, okay. Anyway, so the third reason to bed rot, or my history with bed rotting, as I should call it, is if I'm hungover. And this is the thing I did the other day. I was hungover and I actually fell asleep on the sofa, which is unusual for me. Extremely unusual. I don't know why I did it. I just did. Just happened. Can't explain it. So I woke up on the sofa and I just never left. And I'm not going to lie, it's always a questionable it's a questionable way to like exist in life, is to not leave one room for 24 hours. One spot for 24 hours. So there's a way that I bed rot successfully, and this is sofa rotting, or just like duvet day. I basically had a duvet day on the sofa. It was great. I had no duvet, but tell you what though, duvet would have fucking killed it, like in a good way. It would have been amazing, because you like, duvets are just so nice. They're just like, unless you're in a hot country and then you just want a sheet, duvets are amazing. They're like literally swaddling you and you're having a great time and you're warm and you're cozy and you feel like you're getting a big hug from like a bear or something, but like a friendly bear, not like a I'm going to eat you bear. So it is a good time. Anyway, I spent a lot of time watching Netflix, I'm not going to lie. In particular, Skins. Now, if you're not from the UK and a millennial, you probably don't know what Skins is. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's quite a depressing show, but it doesn't necessarily make me depressed, I wouldn't say. It's quite sad, but it's also realistic. Well, not fully realistic, you know, but like way more realistic than lots of other shows, which I would say make me more depressed. And I'm going to talk about why Bridgerton made me depressed at some point. But yeah, you'd think it wouldn't, but I came out of it and I was like, I fucking hate my life. So what happened there? Something went awry. So I'm going to now discuss like what is good or bad in bed rotting. Because I would say, I was going to say like best ways to bed rot and worst ways to bed rot. And then I was like, actually, no. I don't want to segment it like that. I want to discuss the positives and negatives of each. And I think that's like an interesting way to do it. Number one, what to wear when you're bed rotting. So what I did the other day, I have a thing where if I don't get dressed, I feel kind of unsuccessful in the day, even if I don't leave the house, right? Even if I don't do anything, I like to get dressed because I feel successful. I feel fresh, FTD, fresh to death. I feel better about my life. I feel better generally. And the other day when I was hungover, I did eventually get dressed. Now the thing is, if you sit in your pajamas, let's say I'm in my PJs right now, right? And what I find is that I just end up getting like icky, and I don't like that, especially under the boobies, and if you're not wearing any pants in the panty area, and I don't like it. I just feel like ick, ew, gross. So I do like to get dressed, and I would say best clothes to bed rot in are either another set of pajamas that you didn't sleep in, but arguably it's up to you, right? I'm not telling you what to do here. This is just my preference. I prefer to get into a kind of loose, like sports bra, loose, or like a lounge bra, just because I don't like under boob sweat. Like it makes me feel not okay. So I like something to absorb the sweat. And it's going to happen. You know, my boobs, they have a little bit of an under boob situation going on. And if there's no fabric there, there's sweat and it doesn't get absorbed, even if it's cold. So that's the situation. I also put leggings on, and then I put a loose top on, like one of those ones that you just lounge around in, like the ones that you get from like when you're on holiday and you get like I went to here top, and then you wear it and you're like, well, this is now going to be my bed top. One of those tops, and then a nice jumper, sweater. And that's kind of it really. And then some nice sockies. I mean, and underpants. I forgot to mention undies. But yeah. And leggings. Did I mention those? Am I okay? Did I just forget like half of my clothes? So yeah, leggings are the way. Or jogging bottoms. Oh my god, don't get me started on jogging bottoms. I recently bought some more and I'm just living the dream. Jogging bottoms. I look terrible, but I feel amazing. So who's winning? Me, because I don't have to look at me. Everyone else has to look at me, but I have to feel me. So it's great. So I would say comfy clothes. I personally get out my PJs. I get out of them and I'm not naked. I can't do a naked bed rot. I just can't do it. So I do get dressed. It's a plot twist. I'm telling you. It's a questionable plot twist. Let me know what you think about that one. Next, I would say preparation. And I've included in this one catheter, urinary catheter. Do I catheterize myself? No, but I have fucking strongly considered it. Let me put it that way. I am dying to have a catheter in, but also I recognise that it's not a comfortable thing to do, plus it adds infection, plus it's just a weird thing to do. I catheterised myself so that I didn't have to leave bed. Also, you'll have to empty your catheter at some point unless you get a massive bag. I'm talking 4 litres, which I don't think I can go there. Firstly, I would have to buy the stuff. And then I would just be like, I would stigmatize myself for it. I would be like, Dawn, that's not okay. You've taken bed rotting a step too far now. Catheterizing yourself is a step too far. Like, fair enough if you medically need it, but most people don't. And can you imagine? Especially when I'm hungover, do you know what I want to do? I want to start a service where I go around. I'm not going to do this because I'm not sure how it would happen, but it would be a fucking great service. I also don't know how much you charge people, but anyway, maybe 50 quid. Would that even cover it though? I don't know, but I would go round and I would cannulate people. This is like my idea. I'd cannulate people that are hungover, go round to their house, cannulate them, put up IV fluids. They can have a catheter if they want, but they probably don't want me going down there. And give them medications to help with their nausea and help them overcome their hangover. What a fucking great business idea is that? Anyway, this is what I want. I want that to myself. I would be able to cannulate myself and catheterize myself and give myself IV medications and IV fluids. So I could basically do that, but I'm not going to. It's a step too far, definitely. I would do IV fluids. I think I would do that. If I had it available, if I had a reputable source to buy it from, I would buy it, probably. In fact, I would. I don't even care. I probably would. And I would have it when I'm hungover. I'd have to catheterize myself and cannulate myself the night before so that, I've already got a cannula in, go out with my cannula in, and then put the fluids up when I get home. Oh, God. Okay. Preparation. Massive jug of water. This is when I'm hungover. Massive jug of water. Especially, I like squash when I'm hungover because it just tastes nicer. Nice cold water, squash. Get one of those refillable things that you can refill your cup with. Personally, I like one that I don't have to sit up, but I just haven't got that set up right now. But this is the ideal, is you have one either with a straw or one that you can tip up. Ideal. I do find that I drink more if I have a tippy up one, but then you end up having to go and pee more. So it's a real balance. But food, snacks, remotes near you, and a blanket, because you need a blanket if you're going to bed rot on the sofa. Or if you're already in bed, great. Just bring water to your bedside, phone charger, laptop, everything you need and more to your bedside. Prepare. What is going on? Prepare. Working in bed. I have done it. I'm not going to lie. I've told you I've done it. But I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, I will do certain things like life admin, replying to emails, easy shit I will do in bed. But then non-easy shit, like podcasting, that's fairly easy actually. I could do it in bed, but I don't want to move my whole setup to the bedroom. What else? Replying to emails, maybe writing an essay or something, I don't know. Planning an essay, watching Netflix, that's not really work, is it? Just doing easy stuff in bed, not anything arduous, because I feel like sometimes when you need to get in, you need to get in the zone. I feel like bed is not the zone. I don't know, could be wrong. Journaling in bed, great idea. Get your journal. Reading in bed, great idea. I think working significantly in bed is, I don't know, it kind of blurs the boundaries between work and relaxation. I think bed rotting should be for relaxing, not for working, personally. Maybe reply to some people, when you've got all those unread WhatsApp messages, just read all of those and reply to them. TV. Now, the great thing is Netflix. When I was younger, we used to not have Netflix and you used to have to change the CD if you wanted to watch Friends back to back. How tiring is that? No, I just leave it on, and then when it tells me, are you still watching this? I'm like, yes, leave me alone. Stop questioning my decisions. Personally, I love to get up when I'm in a bed rotting mood and go for a walk. I know it's questionable because you're like, I committed myself to the bed rot and now I'm contradicting that and going for a walk. But I'm telling you, it just changes your life. You're like, I feel like I've accomplished something. I've left the house. I've just gone for a walk. Also, I have dogs and they were like, that's them panting. And they can't cope with me just lying there because they're like, you should be walking me, bitch. get up and walk with me on a lead, and then take me off the lead, walk around the park, and take me home, and feed me, and water me, and let me out to the toilet. So they're like questionably difficult when you're trying to bed rot. But I think it is nice just to go outside, go for a walk, even if it's raining, just for an hour. Not even that, 20 minutes, and just walk around and just absorb life. It's quite nice, I'm telling you. I did it the other day on my hangover day, and I was like, I kind of didn't want to go inside. Like, it was a sunny day, it was fresh, it was beautiful. It was kind of ruined by these people on scrambler bikes in the park though, which I'm sure is illegal, but I was like, whatever. They stopped after a while, but I was like, please, cannot. So I'm not saying go out and like exercise, you know, like gym. Like, if you're feeling that, go for it. Maybe do some yoga. That's quite nice. Or some drink. Yes. Animals. Yeah, I've already talked about animals. I think it's quite nice to have animals in the bed. Maybe a cat or a small dog, but like the ones that just want to do stuff all the time, like my dog Lila, she just wants to like play or go for a walk. Every time I move, she's like, oh my God, we're going somewhere. She's like a little bit exhausting to bed rot with. So take her for a walk. She can go do her own thing. But like if you have a cat or a dog, easy, like nice, like a little dog, like Bailey is a Chihuahua, and he loves to bed rot. Let me tell you, he is a fucking queen at bed rotting. So animals are good if they're relaxed, because you want a relaxing atmosphere. I think it is just nice just to exist and not have to be like, oh, I've got to go and do chores and this and that. I'm just existing. Today is just a write-off, but I'm existing and I'm having a good time. The question is sofa or bed. Well, I think personally I prefer bed rotting on the sofa, because I don't like being in the same spot forever. And then, you know, being in bed asleep, being in bed awake all day, being in bed asleep again. I don't know. It feels wrong. I feel like I need a change of environment for my brain. But if I go downstairs, I feel like I'm slightly accomplishing something. Sometimes I'll go back upstairs for a nap. Who knows? It's rare. I don't actually nap much anymore. But it happens. It has happened. Napping is always a dangerous game. But I think if you're hungover, like especially I sleep so badly when I've been drinking. Oh my God. I literally like, it just doesn't happen. And I end up having to nap. And I love a good hangover nap. Like, it's amazing because I'm actually tired. And then I sleep. But I still need to sleep later. Like, it doesn't stop me from sleeping later that evening, which is best. Because I'm like, I don't want it to fuck up my sleep routine. But also, I want a nap. Because it is nice sometimes to nap, isn't it? I would say that's the best part of bed rotting, is just having a sneaky little nap in the middle. Napping is a bit scary though sometimes, because my least favourite naps are the ones that last for 3 hours or 4 hours or longer, or the ones where you go to sleep when it's light and you wake up when it's dark. It always really creeps me out. I'm like, ugh, I did not like that. The last thing is food in bed. Now, dangerous game. It really is. I have one of those granny trays which has like bean bag thing on the bottom, and it's a tray and I eat on it, and I don't eat at the table because, you know, I have no manners. I don't know. So I would take that up to eat in bed, just so you don't get a little, you know, spillage everywhere, or just have a tray. It's like a good time. But then you might want snackies, and that's fine. But the issue I find is that I get them everywhere. If you don't mind that, if you don't mind crummies in the bed, I'm all for it. Eat in the bed. But I think go for something non-crummy. That's my personal opinion. Something non-crummy, or have like a plate to catch the crumbs on. Because I personally don't like rolling around and having crumbs on me. But then, when you go to the toilet, just do a quick little swipe them all out, and then you're good to go again. It's like no one was ever there. So those are my tips for bed rotting. I'll let you know if I ever do catheterize myself, and if I ever do cannulate myself for IV fluids, because I'm well up for it. Especially with because I'm on Wegovy, and it makes me really fucking nauseated. I always forget the fucking word. Nauseous or nauseated. I actually don't know. It makes me really nauseated. Nauseous. I don't know. And I struggle to drink, especially when I'm hungover. So I'm like, I want IV fluids all day long. I could just let them fucking flow in. And it's not the best way to get fluids into your body, but it is when you're kind of dying. Anyway, thanks so much for listening, guys. Let me know your bed rotting experiences, and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and also like give it a 5-star rating if you're listening on Spotify or whatever, or Apple Podcast, still a thing. I don't think it is. Apple Music or whatever it is, or wherever you're listening. And I don't know, go check out my Instagram or something, or my TikTok or my YouTube channel if you haven't already. It's YouTube at Dawn Barlow, Instagram at Dawn Barlow 30, and TikTok is the same. So I'm keeping it simple. I actually changed my Instagram so that it would be at Dawn Barlow 30, even though I had options, but I went for 30 because TikTok was 30. So I was like, let's keep it the same. Anyway, thanks so much for listening, guys, and don't forget to get your kiss at the end. I upload every Monday and Thursday, and I just talk about life and like fun things. And oh my god, one of my friends might be coming on soon, so and we have a fucking laugh. Let me put it that way. Anyway, bye.